Welcome to the call on Instagram, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Happy Friday. Let me know where you're tuning in from, what brokerage you're with. Today is going to be all about Instagram. We're going to focus on one platform today, and that is Instagram. If you can hear me okay, let me know in the chat. Just want to make sure my audio is solid for you. And also let me know where you're tuning in from, what brokerage you're with. We got a lot of people attending today. Apparently, a lot of people want to learn about Instagram. It's one of the fastest growing platforms. Welcome, Maria with Greater Hartford. In Greater Hartford, welcome, Holly with Berkshire Hathaway and Rye. Ben Prusy, what's happening, Ben? Paula, good to see you, Paula. A lot of familiar names and faces, and good to see all of you on. For the rest of you, let me know. Yeah, the audio is good. Susan Murray, I got it. Making a change. Nicole, all good on my end, says Kim. Excellent, excellent. We'll wait for some more people to join in. It's 1:01. Give it a couple more minutes. I see the numbers still climbing. So today is just a free training on Instagram, not selling anything. I'm just teaching all about Instagram. This is really just to help you leverage your social media. And I think I did a pretty good job of breaking it down really easy for everybody today. And I'm excited for this training. It's the first time that I've done it this way, where I really break down all the functionality within Instagram, how to use the Instagram platform, how to grow on these platforms, and how to get more followers, how to post reels, how to post stories, how to go live, how you don't even need to create content. You can actually repost other people's content. That's called a remix. So I'll be showing you about remixes today too. So let me know also in the chat, what would you like to learn about Instagram? Like, you joined this training, you took time out of your day to be on this training, and of course, put away your phones. Let's get focused, send those text messages, do what you can to be present. I'm going to be 100% present with you all here, and we're going to talk about Instagram. So let me know in the chat, what are the biggest challenges you're facing on Instagram? What do you want to learn on Instagram? What are things I should cover? Because if I don't cover it today, I'm going to keep these notes, and I'm going to put it into the next training. So Kim says the Remax was great on the last Zoom. Yeah, I'm going deeper into that. Suma says I'm not consistent. Jill says I want to learn how to get more followers. Excellent. Penny says, oh, how to make it really easy. I think today, Penny, I'm going to do it really easy, at least in the beginning, and then it'll get more advanced. I love all these comments in here. Awesome. How do I make my reels from posts on my feed? How do I share my Instagram so people get the form as they are supposed to? Looking for how to upload great real estate content. I have listings. I need help. I get overwhelmed. Yeah, awesome. Keep feeding me those challenges, because I read all of this afterwards and it helps me create the best training for all of you. So we've got over 45 people on the call. I'm going to get started here. Thanks for joining, and let's do this. We got 1 hour flat to make magic happen here. So let me open up the chat window. You can all see my screen, I hope. Let me go present. And how many of you on the call have never seen me do a training before? Just curious. Has anybody never seen me do a training before? Or have you all seen at least one of my trainings? Wow, we got some new people. Awesome. First time, me, new. Okay, amazing. Surprised you haven't heard about our trainings yet, but this is great. I'm glad you're here. So a quick intro. My name is Alex Montalenti. I'm the CEO of Real Greater. I've been in the industry over 23 years. My mom was a realtor. She was from Romania. She came to America in 1968, started from nothing, started over, worked in a factory, got her real estate license, started doing rentals in Queens, New York, got into residential, single mom, 2 kids, struggling to pay the mortgage, but she met somebody that was in real estate, and that changed her life. And I came home from college in about the year 2000, and that's when everything went internet. And I was ready to go work in New York City, and my mom's like, hold up, I need help. I got to pay the mortgage. Can you do my technology stuff? Can you be my digital marketing assistant? Can you get your real estate license? And I did, and that changed the whole trajectory of my life. Now we run a company that's on the Inc. 5000, and we were just number 800. And we now teach realtors how to use social media, how to do online reputation, and we built an entire digital marketing system that's in use by close to 70,000 agents now. So that's my intro, just so you get a little background on me. And I'm about to dive really deep into Instagram. Awesome. Thank you. Mary says, sorry, I saw you last week for a general info. Didn't realize it was you. Love the way you teach. Thank you so much, Mary Josie. So, power of Instagram. What are we going to cover today? We are going to cover a little bit about the history of Instagram, so you know what it's all about, where it comes from. I'm going to get into Instagram personal, Instagram business, Instagram followers. I'm going to talk about Instagram stories. I'm going to talk about Instagram highlights and Instagram reels. And I might add in some things that'll be kind of juicy and interesting and some Instagram hacks for you all. Does that sound good? If you're excited, let me know in the chat. The more energy you feed me, the more energy I bring to the call. Let's do this. Instagram's been around for a while, but listen, it's changing all the time, right? So here's secret number one. Instagram is not hard to use. I know it sounds like it's hard to use, but it's actually one of the easier platforms. Thanks, Ben. Secret number two, Instagram is about relationship building, but it's also about aesthetics, like making things look really professional and pretty online, right? I was talking to my kids who are 11 and 13 and 15, and they're like, Snapchat, because they're on Snapchat. We're all not even on Snapchat, right? But they're on Snapchat, and they're like, Snapchat's where you dump all your photos. But Instagram, Dad, we put specific, really pretty pictures on Instagram. And that's how you kind of want to think about it. It's like Instagram is like your most aesthetically pleasing representation of your online social media. Facebook is even more of a people dump their lunch, their dinner, their whatever on Facebook. But on Instagram, we're a little more careful what we post. And then on LinkedIn, we're even more careful. Okay, hopefully that gives you a little background. Secret number three is Instagram tells your story and it helps you stay top of mind. And stories started in Instagram. So a little history on Instagram. Instagram was only started in 2010. In 2012, Facebook was like, we're buying Instagram. This is amazing. So they bought Instagram within 2 years. Okay. In 2016, Instagram launched Stories, which is really where the whole influencer concept started besides YouTube. Stories was how people would document their day. They would tell a story of their day. 2018, Instagram TV launched. It was a fail. Didn't really take off. 2019, Reels launched. And really, Instagram and TikTok are kind of battling to be which one is the better platform, okay, when it comes to like Reels and telling stories and things like that. Just a little history for you there. Instagram and Facebook are owned by Meta. Meta is like the umbrella on top of Instagram and Facebook. So let's look at the size of this market. It's actually huge. It's a $40 billion revenue for Facebook, $40 billion in total advertising revenue in Facebook, 2 billion users on Instagram. So Meta is running the game right now. Okay, it's one of the top growing companies. Here's the advantages of Instagram. Number one, you can make social connections really easy. It's not like friend requests. It's not like LinkedIn connections. It's just a follow. Advantage number two, it's easy to post. Advantage number three, you get data and analytics to know what posts are doing really well, lots of data. And the advantage number four is you have multiple exposure opportunities. Now, this is the slide I worked on last night for about 2 hours. This and the next few slides. And this is the money slide, okay? What I'm about to do is break down Instagram for you so you don't just look at it. How many of you have looked at Instagram, but you actually don't know what all these little buttons and these little gizmos and these little features do? If you know what all the features are on Instagram, say I do. And if you don't, say I don't in the chat. I didn't. Okay. I actually went in last night and learned so much more about Instagram for all of you. I went into doors and like little places that I had no clue even existed on Instagram because it's always changing. Yeah, I see a lot of you saying, I don't. So if you were to take out, and you could do this if you have your phone on the side, take out your phone and go to your Instagram so you can follow along here. If you go to your Instagram and you click on the little profile on the bottom right, which is down here, you are going to see what I see. Okay? You're going to see your profile. Your profile is probably going to look different than my profile. Maybe you've got more followers, maybe you've got less followers, not a problem. But let's look at the overall, how does this work? So I'm going to start on the very top. Try to follow. I'm going to do this really slowly, and you can feel free to take a screenshot of this because this is literally telling you how Instagram works. So first of all, right on the top, it's telling me which profile I'm on. Well, I'm on my profile. So far, so good, right? What's to the right of that? This little like inverted @ sign, this is actually Instagram's latest product launch. It's called Threads. How many people are on Threads? If you're on Threads, say I am. And if you're not, say I am not. But this is Instagram's latest thing. Okay? We won't get into that too much because that's a separate training and takes a whole other bunch of time. But I just want you to know what that is. That's the new Threads. You may want to just get on Threads and make sure you have your handle. And your handle is like alex.montalenti. Now, next to that is a plus sign. That is the most comprehensive way to post. Surprisingly, shockingly, you think the plus sign down on the bottom is, but actually the plus sign on the top gives you all the features and functionality. The plus sign on the bottom is actually pretty limited. Cool tip, okay? That's a little hack. So when you post from up here, that's actually giving you all the choices. Okay, and I'm going to get into that in a second. There's actually 3 ways to post on Instagram. This plus sign on your photo, which is going to post a story. So this only lets you post a story. This post up here lets you post a lot of different things, a live, a story, a reel, lots of different stuff. And the plus down here gives you a few options too, but not all of them. Okay, so there's actually 3 places to post on Instagram. So everybody, the first question they ask is, how do I post? Where do I post? Well, you got to know that there's 3 different ways. If you're going to just jump in and post a story, you could just click on your headshot. If you want options, you can click on the plus sign up here. And if you want to post either a reel or a live or a story, you can hit the plus on the bottom. How many people knew that? If you knew that, let me know. And Bridget, if you don't see a plus sign on top, you're probably not on your profile, and you want to click on your profile on the bottom right. Yeah, a lot of people did not know. I'm going to get into the difference between live, story, and reel in a second, but I want to go through each and every one of these features so that you know what this is all about. So that's the place that you post. I'll get into that in a second. To the right of that, these 3 lines, that's called a hamburger menu. Why? I don't know. It doesn't look like a hamburger. It's just 3 lines, but they could say that that's the top bun, that's the bottom bun, and that's the meat in the middle. Okay, that's a hamburger menu. That's your menu where you get to a whole list of other features. Okay, and that is a hidden door that most people don't open, and it has expanded tremendously from the first time Instagram launched. Great question, Kim. Do you recommend getting Meta verified? So I am, and I recommend that if you've got a lot of following and you've invested a lot into your relationships, and you're worried that people might not know, is that the real Alex Montalenti or the real Slim Shady, please stand up, then you should get the check mark, because that's going to make that distinction for people that that's the official version. And feel free to put questions in the chat. I am looking at the chat. If it interrupts the flow, I won't interrupt and I'll hold it for later. If I feel like it's part of the conversation, I'll include it. I kind of know how to go with the flow here a little bit. So on the top right, we've got threads, we've got the post, and we've got the menu. What's next? The ability to post a story is on the left-hand side. Then you've got all your analytics. How many posts, how many followers, how many people are following. Right under that, you have the @ sign, which is the threads handle. So that links to your threads. And right under that, you have your bio. Okay? So the bio is very important that you update that. If you worked with our company, you don't have to worry about it because we updated your bio, but maybe things change and you can update your bio from time to time. For me, I want that bio to be impressive. That's why I put CEO of RealGrader, number 800 of the Inc. 5000. These are the 3 products that we offer. Here's how you can contact me. For many of you in real estate, I would use your most influential statistics. $1 billion top producer, digital marketing agent, right? Certified luxury specialist, your designations. Those are the kinds of things you might want to put in your bio. So when people look at your profile, they take you seriously. First impressions on Instagram are everything. People don't come back. They just look at your profile once, they decide if they're going to follow you, and they move on with life. Okay. So the more you can kind of be impressive with your bio, the better, because then they will take you seriously. Okay. Makes sense? Jill says, I requested to be verified. I never heard anything back. Jill, I don't know that particular case, but you do want, if you want to get verified, I would follow up on that and follow the process. Just make sure the questions are good. All right. What's next? Right under your bio is your calls to action. New announcement, Instagram just expanded to give you multiple calls to action. You used to only be able to put one link below your bio. And most people either had that link to their website or their link in bio or their link tree. I recommend you have a link to your digital card. If you have one of our Instacards, definitely put a link to your digital card. If you want to put a link to your website, you could put a link to your website. If you want to put a link to a lead capture form, that's a great place to put it. But you can have multiple links there. And of course, why did they make it multiple links? Is because when you post on Instagram, you actually can't include a link on your post. So you tell people, go to the link in my bio to read more or watch the YouTube video of that property. Am I moving too fast? Or are you following? Let me know in the chat. Is this good information? You already knew this. I'm trying to cover it all. So let me know how I'm going over here. Following, perfect. Sherry, great question. How do you add the link? You go into edit profile, which is right below that, and you can add the link. Paula says, my Instacard isn't showing here. Yeah, Paula, we can add it for sure. Just email support or join our Instacard training. No, actually email support for that one because we can get that put in pretty easily. I can also show you all how to do that, which is going to be part of the training today. Where do you get meta verified? You go through the menu and there's a section to get verified. I didn't cover that in this training, but we could cover that in the future. Okay, how do we communicate when posting to direct people to call to action? You literally say it in the description text of the post. For more information, click the link in my bio or click the link below my bio. That's how you tell them. Everybody's used to that language. Maria says, add Instacart to bio or Linktree. Yeah, add Instacart if you have one. It's juicier than a Linktree because it captures the other person's information. Linktree doesn't have a contact capture. So you wouldn't even know if somebody visited your Linktree. Awesome. Good info. Perfect. So we've got the bio. We've got the calls to action. The next thing is the professional dashboard. Okay, that's going to give you all kinds of analytics. It's going to tell you which post is functioning the best, which one's getting the most engagement. Right below that, you have edit profile. And that, my friends, is where you can edit your bio, you can edit your calls to action. That edit profile is the key. Okay? Where do you add the Instacart, Penny? Right there in the edit profile. So when you go to edit profile, you'll be able to insert the different website links and call to action links. So far, so good. Let me know if that answered your question. Now, you also have a share profile. You could actually share your Instagram using a QR code, but with the digital card, the Instacard, there's an even easier way to share, which I'll talk about. You also have your contact information. Suma, I will get into how do you tag people. Give me a second. Highlights. We have highlights. Now, what are highlights? Highlights are these circles that appear on your Instagram profile. So let me ask you all a question. How many of you have your highlights set up? We don't set up highlights as part of our process because that's more complicated. But if you don't have highlights, I'm going to show you today how to get some highlights added very easily. Now, what is highlights? Highlights is stuff that you want to keep. Okay. I would think of highlights as folders. Okay. If you're posting stories all day, stories go away in 24 hours. So a lot of people are like, well, why would I post stories, Alex? They go away in 24 hours. That's because you want to keep yourself top of mind and you want them to follow your story. But certain parts of your stories you may want to keep forever. So you store the story in a folder called a highlight. And that highlight stays on your profile. And you put the best stories in your highlight. Okay? So, for example, if I have a highlight for inspiration, I have a highlight for my podcast, I have a highlight for my daughters, I have a highlight for my events. And as I do stories, I store the best parts of those into the highlights. Okay? And you generally can name the highlights around different areas of your business or different brand pillars. Or for all of you, I would probably have some highlights for my clients. I'd have some highlights for my properties. I'd have a highlight for each local area that I serve. That might be some ways to think about what highlights to use. I'm going to show you how to do highlights today. Instacart is the same as the digital card. Yes, Betsy. Next up is the posts. So notice below that, I've got 3 posts pinned to the top. What did I do there? I pinned them to the top because they're very important posts that I want people to see as soon as they land on my Instagram. So when you get a post that has really high engagement, gets a lot of views, or you want people to see it because it was like the biggest house you sold, or it was an award you won, or it's a designation that you got, you might want to pin that post to the top. And you can pin 3 posts to the top. Okay? Just below that, you've got a navigation once again on the very bottom with home. That takes you to the feed. And what's the feed? The feed is where you see other people's stuff. And I'll show you that. You have the search, so you can search for other people. You can search for hashtags. You can search for groups. You have the posting option. Then you have reels where you can watch other people's reels. And then you've got your profile, which takes you back to this profile page. So I just covered pretty much every button on this page, except for these 3, which I'll cover on the next one. Any questions on this first page? And this is the first time I really broke down the anatomy of an Instagram profile. And I think it's really useful to know what each of these buttons do and does so that you can actually use it properly. Excellent. So Monica says, I don't have a highlight area. So Monica, you don't have a highlight area because you haven't created highlights yet. Once you create the highlights, you will have a highlight area. And we'll show you how to do that today. April says, I don't have the circles under edit profile. Absolutely. That's because you haven't created them yet. Awesome. I don't have a contact info section next to share profile. I'm not sure, Heather, why that is. I'd have to look into that. It could be the type of account that you have. Let's see other questions. How do we pin them? So you literally pin them on the post. You have an option to pin the post, and I'll get into that in a little bit. How do we pin posts or reels? Yep, I'll get into that shortly. Has anybody seen this before? Like a teaching of the anatomy of Instagram. Hopefully this was helpful. This is just the beginning, but I want to lay this foundation for you all because this is really like Instagram 101. Like we use this thing every day. We don't actually know what it does. It's like I use a toaster, but I know what that does. It makes bread. What does Instagram do? Right? Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Thank you for the feedback. Yes, this is being recorded. Absolutely. So now I'm going to show you the anatomy of your feed. Okay. So when you're looking at everybody's stuff and you're not looking at your profile, like I mean, we've all been there. Like I'm looking at so much stuff. The day has just gone by. Hey, everybody. The biggest tip I'll tell you, I did this. I went on my phone and I limited the amount of time I spend on Instagram. And now I have a pop up that says, Alex, you went over your time today. Get off Instagram. Because the truth is, as business owners, we don't need to be scrolling so much. We need to be posting. We need to be scrolling maybe for 15 minutes to look at our client stuff and commenting and engaging. But if you're just sitting there and scrolling, you know how much time you're wasting. And you want to get scared? Go in your phone and look at how much time you spent on social media, and you will not like it. I did it like a month ago. I definitely put the timer on that thing. So now my phone tells me, hey, you're over your time limit on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn. Would you like to ignore and continue? And I go, no, I got to get back to work. Okay. That's a big tip for you all. Eye-opening for me. Look at how much time you actually spend on here and limit it. Because really you need to be coming in to do certain things. That's why you want to learn how to use it. And then you need to be getting out and getting back to work. Anybody agree with me? We spend way too much time on social media scrolling, not enough actually doing. Yes, 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 right? So we're going to spend an hour today learning about it, and then you're going to limit how much time or invest as much time as you see fit to grow your business or to connect with people. But be careful that you don't spend too much time just scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. Not healthy. Okay? So looking at my feed, and Maria says, how do you set the time limit? I can tell you on an iPhone, I go to settings and I go to what's called screen time. And in screen time, I can choose app limits and I can limit my apps. Eddie says, I avoid social media. Not sure why. Yeah, I feel you. Ben says, I'm pretty good at controlling my time. Paula has a question. Can you not see follower posts, but keep them as followers? I have a lot of pet rescue things I'd like to see on a separate Instagram, but not affiliate them. So you can definitely do that on Facebook. You can stay connected, but not see people's posts. On Instagram, I'm not sure. I'd have to look that up. And I think that's the questions for now. Let me keep going. So this is the feed. This is where we spend a lot of time scrolling, everybody. Okay, so let's get really present to how do we want to use this efficiently. I'm going to give you the biggest hack right now. You come into your Instagram feed, don't start scrolling yet. That's hack number one. Go to your stories and see if any of your clients are posting a story. And when they do, watch their story and comment on their story. Why? Because that goes directly into their direct messenger. That is your fastest way to get their attention, because if you comment on their post, big deal. Everybody's doing that. If you comment on their story, you just went over and in to their direct message. So how do you get into their story? These circles on the top, these are your friends' stories. And you can keep scrolling to the right and see more and more circles, and you can see who's on top. Okay? And that's how you can get access to your clients and direct message them, or to a prospect that you're trying to connect with. This is a big hack. Using the direct messenger is a big hack. Question, don't clients and friends like to see all the posts directly on the story? Nah, I mean, some go through stories, some to go through posts. I mean, I think it's a subjective thing. But my recommendation, if you're going to engage with your clients, is to go connect on their stories. Now, if they're not posting stories, then all that's left is their posts, right? But let's talk about the stories for a second. And yeah, I hear you, Penny. I got a whole bunch of people also that I don't know who they are. So remove them, maybe, right? Like the more you get to the organic list of who you want to connect with, the better. So going to the stories, you can comment on the stories. You can also post your story here, which I'm going to get into in a second. You can also look at all the posts. So now we start looking at the posts. And right below each post, there is a heart. So you can heart it. Instead of liking it on Facebook, Instagram has a heart. You have a message so you can comment on the post. But I'm telling you, if you're commenting on the post, the better hack is to go click on their profile and direct message them and say, hey, I saw your post. bop, 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 because that's going to override everything and go right into their inbox. Does everybody understand the difference? Posting on a post is like, remember on Facebook, happy birthday? Hey, it's my birthday. And 200 people say happy birthday on my feed. That's great. But 5 people went directly into my messenger and sent me a nice personalized message. Those people stood out to me more than the people that just said happy birthday. Same concept here. You want to engage with your customers, go directly to the direct message. So where is the direct message? Awesome. You see this little one up here on the top right? That's the direct message. You can comment on their story or go right to the direct message. I got to add that to this screenshot here. Thank you, Susan. But that's the direct message on the very top right of your feed. So how do you get to the feed? You click on the home button down on the bottom, like the house, perfect for real estate, the home, and then you click on the DM. Now, you can heart, you can comment, and you can share a post. You can repost a post. This little thing that looks like a airplane, that's the sharing tool. That actually lets you share it to your story, share it to your wall, share it in different ways, copy the link to it. It does all kinds of things like that. And then all the way to the right, you have save to collection. So if you like that post and you want to save it for later, you save it to a collection. So far, so good, everybody? And again, down on the bottom, you have the same navigation you had on the first screen with your profile, which is the home, the search, the posting tool, the reels, and your profile. Any questions on this screen? Paula says, I missed the airplane icon. The airplane icon is the share tool. I'm going to show you how that works, but that lets you share it to your Instagram or share it to your story or share it to somebody else. Good stuff. Monica says, I saved it to the collection, but don't know how to access them. Let me just test that really quick and I can give you the answer. So boom, I go add to collection. I don't use the collections functionality, just to be clear. So I'm going to have to get back to you on that one, but it must store it somewhere in a collection. I don't use it that often, but a lot of people do. Awesome, Mary Josie. Thank you. I'm the first teacher who explains it easy. I love it. Trying to make it simple because it is a lot, everybody. I mean, even for me, I spent like a good hour just on this screen exploring it and making sure I had answers for you. And I still missed one. Like, where does collections go? Yeah, people assume we know. I know. It's crazy. So back to where you can post. There's 3 different places to post. Stories from stories, or you can post up here, or you can post on the bottom. Great question. The number on notifications, how do we utilize that properly? Well, Freda, the best way to use notifications, and I'll go back, where's notifications? So notifications is going to be this heart, okay? And this heart up here is going to tell you all the people that liked your post or hearted your post, all the people that commented on your post, all the people that shared your post, all the people that followed you so that you can follow them back. So great. I'm so happy you brought that up, Freda, because I didn't mention that. This heart next to the direct message, this is where you see who is following you so that you can actually follow them back. And you do want to check that on a daily basis, maybe, or every couple of days at least, because you might see your clients following you and you're like, oh, John followed me from the open house. Oh, Sherry followed me from Starbucks. Amazing. So that means they're engaging, right? And then you want to follow them back. And my recommendation is when you follow somebody back, don't just comment and like on their post. Send them a direct message and say, so great connecting with you. Monica says, why follow back? I never knew how to follow back. Yeah, you follow back so that now you're seeing their content. So let's say, Monica, you meet this client or you did a transaction with a client or you meet somebody new who's a prospect and you follow them or they follow you and then you follow them back. Now you're going to see their content and you can start engaging with them. And my recommendation is to engage through direct message. You might comment and like a couple times and then you send them a direct message. Hey, great post on Instagram. I love what you said about X, Y, and Z. I connected with it. That'll create connection and relationship. right? And that's how you build relationship in Instagram. Just hearting stuff, nobody's checking that. It's too overwhelming for me to go look at all the hearts I got. I get like 100 hearts on a post. Am I going to go check every heart? No, but I will check if you send me a direct message. Does that make sense? Let me know if you're following, say following. If I'm going too fast, say going too fast, just so I know where you're at. Following, following, following. Awesome. We had an answer from Annie says, FYI, your saved collections is on your settings page on the hamburger menu. Then saved is below and you can click to see what you save. Thank you, Annie. Yeah, I figured it might have been somewhere in the menu. Following, following, following. Penny says, race car driver. Too fast, Penny. As a realtor, should the post be real estate or also personal? It should be a mix, for sure. Do not only post real estate on your Instagram. All right, in the notifications, I have a 5 and 5 blue dots. Don't know how to turn that off. I'd have to see that, Freda. If you want, send me an email at hello@realgrader.com and I'll send you a response. That's hello@realgrader.com. Arno says, where do I find the collection after I save them? I think Annie just told us that. I believe it was Annie. Yep, she said in the menu of your profile, you have an option that says saved, and that's where you can see your saved collections, Arno. Hopefully that answered your question. Heather says, should we have a professional account? Gives an option to switch. If you're very proficient in that, you can switch, Heather. But if you're not tech savvy, I would be careful. Yeah, of course, Monica, because people love deers. What was that email again? Sorry. hello@realgrader.com. So I'm going to keep going here. What happens when we post? Now, this screen's a little dark, but let's say I go click on the post icon, right? This is the one from the very top. And I was telling you that you get more options. So check this out. These are all the options on the left-hand side. You can create a reel. You can create a post. You can create a story. This is where you can create a story highlight. It's so hidden, everybody. It kills me about Instagram sometimes is that they hide stuff. But you can only get to this story highlight thing from the top right. Otherwise, it's another backdoor. If you want to go live, you can go live. If you want to create an AI character, who knows what that is? Just a new cool thing. Made for you. You want to do a fundraiser. You want to create a new channel. So where was that? That's back here. Let's go back. And you hit the plus sign on your profile. The plus on the very top. That is where you get all the options. You click the plus on the very top right because most people click the plus on the bottom. It's not quite the same, okay? So there's more options on the top. And that's why they put it on the top. But we all kind of default to the bottom, right? For some reason. And if you don't have a plus sign on the top right, you're going to use the one on the bottom. Barbara, I'd have to look at to why that is. But these are all the options that you have here, okay? What is a story highlight? A story highlight is that circle that we were talking about on the first page. Now, once I click to post, I get, let's say I post a story. On the right side, I'm showing you what that screen looks like. All of these things are all my images that I screenshotted. When you post a story, many of you think that you need to select image and then post, image and then post. You know how you save a lot of time? This is a huge hack. When you're ready to do your story for the day or whatever, you go post the story and you do select. And you select all the images and videos that you want in your story. And you can post them all at once. Huge hack. Huge. Once I discovered this, it saved me so much time on my stories. Anybody knew about this? Anybody doing this? Select multiple photos and videos for your story. So you go to post the story, and instead of choosing one image and then posting it to your story, you hit the select button right here. Select lets you choose multiple images and multiple videos. Huge hack, right? Because now I could just literally get home at 3 o'clock and like post my whole story for the day. How many images too much on a story? Doesn't really matter. If it's relevant, people will keep clicking through your story until they don't want to anymore, and then they'll move on to the next story. Okay? So I do it in batches. You get that? Batching is hacking. So for my story, maybe you do 5 images, maybe you do 5 videos, maybe you do 10 or 15 or 20. You look at somebody like Grant Cardone or Ryan Serhan, they'll do like 40 or 50 in a day. It's really up to you. How often should we be posting? Ideally, once a day. That's ideally, but I mean, if you can do more, you do more. If you have to do less, you do less. But the ideal would be around once a day. How many images is too much? I don't think there is too much at this point. Everybody's breaking that rule, right? And the biggest influencers are breaking it like 10x. When is the best time to post? I believe closer to the morning because it has more longevity. Now, lots of people have different opinions on this. My take on it is the earlier I post, the more longevity, the more engagement I get throughout the day. That's my take. I notice when I post on Facebook at 6, 7 in the morning, I get way more comments. There's the early risers and there are people that check me out at lunch. There's the people that check me out later. But if I post at night, I'm yesterday's business. You know what I mean? So, hopefully I answered everybody's question there. Now, when I'm posting a story, I can add music. I can create a draft. I can use templates. There's lots of things I can do, but the biggest hack is the multiple select feature. If I'm just creating a new post, and by the way, this is like right above my office where magic happens. And this is an award I won for doing $1 million in one digital marketing funnel. Huge award that I'm really proud of. And down here is my Inc. 5000 that's above my desk. Just a little inside view as to where the magic does happen here. And when I'm posting, that's just a static image. Okay. And I would choose from my static images. Now, I don't believe that posting a static image is the most popular way or the best way to post. I think if you're going to post a static image, you might as well post a reel because it's almost the same amount of work and you're going to get way more exposure. Now, if I was like today, I posted a video, just one video, and I wanted to hear the person speaking, so I posted it as a regular post. But if not, I would have done a reel, which would have added music and made it cool and all that. So posting as a reel gives you way more engagement. On the very bottom, when you post, you generally have these 4 options. It might be hard to see, but on the very bottom, you have post, story, reel, and live. So yeah, great question, Mary Josie. Yes, but a reel is a video. If you have only photos, you can't do a reel. Not true. Not true, Mary Josie. If you have photos, you can absolutely do a reel. Okay, you can add the multiple photos, add music, and now you've got a reel, and it'll animate it automatically. Can I tell the difference between the reel and the stories? Yes. The stories are going to go, let's back up because there's a big distinction here. The stories, first of all, are going to post like this, and they're going to end up in these circles up on the top. The reel is actually going to end up on the feed. Okay? And that's the biggest difference. The stories go up into the circle. They only last for 24 hours. The reel goes in your feed, lasts forever. Now, here's the hack. Ready? You do a reel because it lives forever, and then you share it to your story. Boom. That is how you crush it in time, and that's how you get best of both worlds. You create a reel first, then you share it to your story. I'm going to show you how to do this, but that way you get the reel that lasts forever, gets the most exposure, and then you can share it to your story so that you stay top of mind. Okay? You can select music. I'm not sure from Spotify. I'd have to double check that. Susan says a reel is a video. It's basically an animation. So some people could call it a video, but really all it's doing, it's taking static imagery or video, compiling it together to create an animation that looks like a video. And that's what a reel is. Okay, it's like how TikTok got on there. There is a time limit on reels. Yes, I forget it because I go through so many platforms. Let's look that up really quick. Time limit on reels. And by the way, everybody, when you don't have an answer to a question, you know what to do. ChatGPT, Google, 90 seconds for an Instagram reel. Okay? 90 seconds. So back over here, this is how you go live. So just like we clicked on the plus button on the bottom, and then we have a choice between story, reel, live, we could choose live and go live. Now, here's what's cool about live. Okay. On the very top, when I was going live last night, it said, hey, there's 547 followers active right now, which means that if I go live right now, 547 people will get notified that I'm live. Pretty cool. Because if you want to get in front of people with an important message, and there's a lot of followers active right now, live is a great way to get engagement. And the biggest influencers go live all the time. Most of us do not. How many people on this call go live ever? I'll start there. Has anybody ever gone live on Instagram? Yeah, Doug says never. Suma says scared to death. Never, never, never. No, not with my face. During COVID, I did. Good. So, yeah, if you're courageous and you want to go live, it's going to tell you how many people are live right now. Matt Paul says, I just did yesterday. Matt, tell everybody, how did it go? Did the world explode? Did everything break? Like, like we're so scared to do it, but then you do it and you're like, oh, it wasn't that bad. Some people engaged, some people didn't. Yeah, Matt says went great and was easy. It really is, everybody. And that's the thing is we're scared to touch the buttons and break things, right? My kids are not. They break things all the time, right? Like everything's broken. So just do it. Yeah, exactly. You want to go live one day? Take an opportunity like you're doing an open house, because that's pretty standard, and do a quick open house live in front of the home. You could prepare, you could not prepare. Depends how well you are on this, how good you are scripted and unscripted, right? But that's how you go live is you simply go to the live. It'll tell you how many people are ready to watch you right now. You hit the button and you're live. And that's it. And you start talking to people and you'll be surprised. Like people will start engaging and talking to you. I don't think there is a time limit on live. I'm not sure, but I've seen people live for a long time. We could Google that one too real quick. Let's see. Time limit on Instagram live. Time limit on Instagram live. 4 hours. If you're ready to go 4 hours on Instagram live, it's all yours. Go for it. I could probably only last an hour or so. Then I'd have to go take a nap. Best time of day for lives or reels. How you know it's a good time to do it is when you open it and there's a lot of followers that are active. That's the best test, right? So if you had 300 followers and it said 200 are active, you could go live to all 200. Amazing. Posting a story. I'm going to show you how to post a story right now. I know I'm moving a little fast now, but I only have that much time left. And I got so much content, but I'm not going to get through it all once again. I'll keep bringing you the best stuff in the front. So when I'm posting a story, I could either do a multiple select, or I could just select certain images and post them to the story. Yeah, definitely doing a part two. And when I get to this screen, I can select the images I want on the story or on the reel, and then I can start putting things on top. Okay? So when I'm putting things on top, I might put text on top, right? I might put hashtags. I might put different emojis and things like that. And here's an example. I put the text new post. I grab this little icon. I grab the fry yay because it's Friday, right? Like we can get fun with this stuff. And I put that on my reel, or I put that on my story, or I put that on my post. And this is all being done on a phone, but you can do some stuff on a computer too. You just can't do everything on a computer. It's way less functionality. LinkedIn, you can do way more on a computer than on your phone, but Instagram is really intended for the phone. I can add music to this thing. I can really get crazy. This is advanced editing feature, but if you want to go remix this video, you can even remix this video. And in the end, I can add the description. I can tag people. I can tag products. I can choose my audience, and I can hit share. Now, I made this a little complicated to cover everything, but the basics are you're going to go post something. You should really do it as a reel. and then you can share it to your story and you're going to get the most exposure, right? This is just an example of like how crazy you can get with your reels. You can use different like filters. Here's a filter, a green screen filter, a filter for my eyes. These aren't really my eyes. So people can do all kinds of funky stuff. You can have a blast in here. And I recommend you play around a little bit. Yeah, Fred, absolutely. And we're going to do a part 2 on this as well. So let's look at a little bit of this. There's a lot of tools: live, reels, stories, posts. There's a lot of targets. How many followers should I have? 100, 1,000, 10,000. There's a lot of techniques. What kind of content should I post? Should it be me? Should it be my listing? Should I be authentic? Should I not be authentic? Well, you should always be authentic, right? And the touches, how am I going to touch people with my content? What kind of content am I going to put out there? I call these the 4 T's: tools, targets, techniques, and touches. Okay. So first you want to choose your tools. Like, are you going to get really proficient on Instagram or on Facebook? Are you going to get really proficient on stories or on reels? I recommend for all of you to start learning reels, because I think that's going to be the highest leveraged use of your time, because the reel can get posted, last forever. It can get shared to a story, last for 24 hours, and you can save it to a highlight, last forever. Does that make sense? Did everybody get that? You post as a reel, it goes on your feed. You share it to a story, it goes for 24 hours, and then you put it in a highlight, lasts forever, right? Make sense, everybody? Choosing your target. For a lot of you, I mean, this should be your first milestone. For some of you, 1,000 followers would be a huge milestone. For some of you, 500 followers would be a huge milestone. For those of you that are really serious about going into Instagram, 10,000 should be a big milestone for you. On Facebook friends, you should be looking for 5,000 friends. Just to give you the difference, it's a lot easier to grow your following on Instagram than on Facebook. How does a reel go to the story? Great question. I have that here, so I will show you. For those of you that ever need an audit of your entire digital presence, you can go to getyourfreegrade.com. We have an auditing software wherein we do a live call and we look at all your profiles and tell you what you're missing, what's broken, all that. So if you haven't done that ever with us, that's a free service we offer: getyourfreegrade.com or realgraderaudit.com. These are the common mistakes we see online: inconsistent social media, lack of branding, broken links, missing profiles, duplicate profiles, all kinds of mistakes online. But I want to jump into more of the content for you. As you grow and connect with people, your digital card becomes a really great resource for having connections, building following. So I want to ask you, how many of you have your digital card? Say yes. How many do not? And that's an Instacard, by the way, that I'm showing you. A lot of people say yes. And a lot of you won't know about this feature that I'm about to show you. And it's really, really massive. We added it recently. From your digital card, you have the ability to share your Instacard. But that's not the coolest part. Well, that is pretty cool. But let me show you one more thing that's really cool. There's a drop down now. So you could share anything. Okay? Share Instacard would give you the QR code or a text message to share your entire digital card. But watch this. We added sharing your social media links. So let's say you meet somebody and you want them to follow you on Instagram. You could share Instagram and you select that and watch what happens. Automatic QR code just for your Instagram. Pretty cool. You could share your Instagram link to somebody so they can follow you. Pretty cool, right? You could also share your LinkedIn. You could share your Facebook. You could share anything on your digital card now with a separate QR code. So we shortcutted it for you all. So now you've got a QR code for each different platform. And if you ever add a link to your digital card, you've got a QR code for that new link, right? Barbara, yours should work. I've never seen it not work. So there's probably a functionality that we need to fix. But email us at support@realgrader.com. We'll make sure it works. Or maybe your digital card doesn't work. We could fix that too. How do we share those links? Perfect question. So if we go back here, you simply go to the share button on the very bottom of your card. Yeah, and Monica says I've been using this for my Google reviews, and now we have it for everything, everybody. It's crazy. It's a game changer. You can actually go to the drop down under share and choose one of these options to share. I could share my calendar link. I could share my reviews. I could share my Google reviews. I could share my Facebook business, my Instagram. And why that's cool is because that's how you can build your following. If anybody's having any issues with your Instacart, I'm going to tell you right now, you want to join our Thursday trainings. They happen every Thursday. Instacardzoom.com. That's a free included training. Every Thursday, Caroline is there waiting for all of you to do 1 full hour on how to leverage your Instacart. And yeah, Maria said they're excellent. They are excellent. And we have way too few people on those calls. I have 70,000 clients using digital card, and I'm surprised we only had like 10 people on the call. So every Thursday, you can join us for a free training. Every Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to put the link in here. Please just go and register because Caroline's waiting for you. Instacardzoom.com. We open those up every Thursday. How do you get to this page? You go to the share button. Then you go on the drop down. So I'll do it one more time for you all. I hit the share button on my Instacard. I go to the drop down and I can drop down to any platform, select that platform, and a QR code gets generated for that platform. And then I've got to drop down to any other platform that I want to share. It's wild. Okay. If you don't have a drop down, it's because you're not logged in, Kathy. You need to be logged in to get all the features of this digital card. If you're having problems logging in, reset your password. But we created an entire world out of the digital card now. So all of you, if you're not logged into your digital card, make sure you are, because then you get all the functionality. You don't know how to log in, contact us, we'll help you, or join the Instacart Zoom. I don't want to get too far off the Instagram training right now. So definitely join us on the Thursday Instacart Zoom training. One more thing here. We added contacts. Yes, Instacart, your code product. Yes, Instacart.co is our product. Absolutely. So we added contacts. Ben Prusi knows about this. When you share your card, we store the contact of the people that you meet. Okay? And when we store the contact of the people that you meet, here is the gold, everybody. We created an automatic lookup to find that person on Instagram. We created an automatic lookup to find that person on LinkedIn, to find them on Google. So now you can connect with them. This is massive. I go to so many events. I meet all these people like Eduardo, and boom, I hit find and connect with Eduardo, and boom, I connected. Awesome, Annie. Thank you for attending. Yeah, Jill says, wow. Freda says, damn, that's great. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, I know, everybody, we don't let you know about every single feature because I'd have to send you an email literally every couple of hours. We're adding new stuff all the time. So we do updates in batches. But I'm telling you, if you have not logged in or attended our Zoom training on Thursdays, please do that. It's instacartzoom.com. You are the owner of the contacts, not us, not them. So that's your private database, not your company's database. And I looked up Montel and boom, I found his Instagram. I followed him and now we're connected on social media. So it's 1:58. I hope you all learned a lot, but I want to leave you with this, okay? And I'm going to do a part 2 of this training because you can see how many more slides I got here for you all. Apparently, there's a lot to be covered here. But I want to leave you with this. When you're doing posts on Instagram, it's important to be catchy, right? To have a hook, okay? Having a hook is how you get people to see your content. So sometimes you got to be a little creative with the stuff that you post. But if you have a hook and you post a reel that's got a hook and it's catchy content, you're going to get way more engagement. So like Monica Reiner, one of our clients, she did a post about like my favorite beaches on Long Island. It got 11,000 views. right? That was the hook. People wanted to see what her favorite beaches on Long Island are. Maybe you could do a hook like the biggest mistake homeowners make, the biggest mistake with the new mortgage rates, right? We all know the mortgage rates just happened. The biggest mistake in home ownership, the biggest mistake in waiting to buy, the biggest mistake in waiting to sell, the biggest mistake in staging your home. That's a hook. You hook people into your Instagram content. These are different hooks I've used. The biggest mistake, 3 secrets. I've invested in myself. I go all in. Here's some hooks for all of you. Do not sell your home without this. The biggest mistake in selling your home. The best time to list your home. Why do some people dislike realtors? I think that's like a great hook. Some people are scared to use that. I think that would totally get engagement, right? The most expensive home in the world. The 3 types of realtors to avoid. Like, I know I'm getting a little crazy, but like hooks need to be a little edgy to capture people and have them read it. You look at headlines in the news, they're supposed to be a little edgy, right? Yeah, Kim says these are very good. Thank you, Kim. Reels. Then you post these reels with these hooks. So check out, these are reels I did with hooks. And the hook goes on top of the reel. You see how I placed the hook? It's just text over the reel. And look at the views on these, 2,000 views, 3,000 views. When I started using hooks, I got way more views. Make sense, everybody? Hooks equal more views. Good hooks equal way more views. Amazing hooks equal viral videos. Make sense? Catchy content. If you want to see good, catchy content, go check out TikTok. That's how you know. When you see a TikTok video go viral, you can see what hook they used and you can reuse it. Big hack, everybody. It's not plagiarism. It's borrowing ideas, right? You just go and look at like what's really working out there in the market and you come up with your own version. These are other ones. Like check out these hooks from my buddy Majid. I know you're right. He uses a lot of word plays. Program your brain. Let's talk about time. These are from my friend Ben. You know, the best way to lose weight. You know, avoid these 10 foods. Great hooks. Look, 14,000 views, 1 million views. World record for most days without food. 1 million views. Great hook. Now you can run Instagram ads. There's a lot of new stuff coming. I'm just going to jump ahead here. If you've got questions, feel free to email us at hello@realgrader.com. I do these trainings every Friday, always on a new subject. I'm going to do Instagram part 2 on my next training. I'll invite you all. If you want to be part of my trainings, I recommend you text the word training to 516-400-4161. I'll put it in the chat. That's my fastest way to invite you all to my trainings. These trainings are free. Training to 516-400-4161. And the last thing I leave you with, I hopefully provided a lot of value for you all today. If you saw a lot of value, please let me know in the chat, 1 through 5, how many stars would you give this training? And if you would be so kind, my whole goal, not whole goal, one of the focus is to build my reputation online as well. Just like you all with realtors, I'm going to teach you how to ask for a review right now. At the same time, I'm going to ask you for a review. I'm trying to provide, so I'm you and I'm me. I'm trying to provide as much value to you all as possible. And if you saw value in how I helped you today, you learned something amazing, you had a big takeaway, all I ask is that you scan this QR code and you provide me a 5-star review, because my business thrives on reputation. So if you could do that, you could scan this QR code and give me 5 stars. I'd greatly appreciate it. And this is me asking you, but it's the same way I'm training you, that if you start asking people for reviews based on the value that you provide, not just on the transactions, you will get way more reviews. Okay? All of you you're not closing every single day a property. Some of you are, but you can actually ask people for a review just when you're providing value, right? Maybe you showed somebody 3 homes and they didn't purchase. Hey, did I provide value to you? They go, yeah. It would be great if you at least could give me a 5-star review on Google, because I focus on my reputation. I want other people to know that I've got a great reputation in the industry. If you could give me a 5-star, it would be great, right? And if you don't have the ability to scan this QR code, feel free to go on RealGrader on Google and provide us a 5-star review. I hope you enjoyed the training today. I hope you get a chance to give us a review. I hope you learned how to get reviews. I hope you learned how to use Instagram in your business. I'm definitely doing a part 2 of that series for you all. There's so much on there, but if you could share with me your biggest takeaways in the chat, that would be amazing. So I can tell people, hey, watch this video. These are the biggest takeaways that agents got. I would love to hear from you all in the chat. What's your biggest takeaway? And hopefully you enjoyed it. I see a lot of 5 stars, 100 stars, 12 stars. Thank you so much. You're making my day. Marcia says it's better to do reels. Biggest takeaway is reels. Paula says where to find my profile and how to make anything. I love it. Freda says getting to know the foundation of the platform is super helpful. Suma says I reviewed you. Thank you so much, Suma. Mary Josie says precise and not too fast. It was excellent. Thank you so much, Mary Josie. Awesome, everybody. Thank you, Eddie. Absolutely, Bridget. I will. I have a. I can't do it from my account because I've had too many reviews for agents, but I can do it from another account. Excellent, excellent. Thank you, Kim, for the 5-star review. I appreciate you. James says I've been waiting 5 years for this information. Yeah, thanks, James. I'm trying to put it together and get it out there. And we're storing all of this education in one library. It's really coming together nicely. And I want to put together the most comprehensive course for the real estate industry on social media and reputation. I want to really be the top leader when it comes to this training. So anything you think I could do to improve my training method, my training content, please email me at hello@realgrader.com. I'm always looking to be the best in my trade. And I think there's not anybody out there that's breaking it down this simple and this slowly. We kind of just run thinking everybody knows exactly what they're doing. But I've watched my kids use Instagram, and then I watch my mom use Instagram, and I see where the struggle is, and I see where my kids are flying through it like way faster than me, and my mom is struggling with it. So it's like we have to find this balance. Awesome. Thank you, Penny. You should meet my mom. It'd be good. Awesome. Thank you, Suma. Appreciate you all. You're awesome. Thanks for attending, for being present, for learning with me, giving me an opportunity to teach. I'm grateful for all of you. I'm here every Friday doing this. And if you have the Instacart, join instacartzoom.com. That's a free training. Caroline is amazing. She teaches like me, really slow, nice and easy. Really great training that's available for all of you. Awesome. Have a great, great day, everybody. Stay productive, stay calm, stay peaceful, and be kind out there. A lot of people dealing with stuff. I can't tell you, you never know what's on the other side when people are frustrated. They're dealing with something personal. So let's take it easy on everybody in this interesting times. And the Zoom training on Thursday is at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's instacartzoom.com. I'm going to put the link in the chat so you can register for that. Highly recommend you attend. Highly recommend you log in to your Instacart to get all the features. So instacartzoom.com. Let's put that there. Boom. There you go. Thank you, Nicole, for the 5-star review. Thank you, Lisa, for the 5-star review. Thank you all who placed a 5-star review. I really appreciate it. It helps a lot for me, for my mindset, for our business, for all of it. We got to stay positive. We got to stay growing and keep it rocking. And I think now with the new rates, things are turning around a little bit for everybody. And let's keep rocking and rolling here. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you so much.